I will be lecturing once again at Bournemouth University on their MSc program, their master's degree program. I'm hypnosis in research, medicine and clinical practice. I was first asked to do this 18 months ago, and I ended up presenting my research, lecturing on a couple of areas that I have some moderate amount of expertise in. I really enjoyed it. I got to lecture in a really incredible building at the university. It's called the Fusion Building. The lecture theatres all have glass walls, and they look down over these sort of winding wooden walkways, and there's a restaurant and the areas down beneath. The balcony areas around each level in front of the seminar rooms and the lecture theatres, they're really cool. Heck, I even loved the glass lifts that go up through the building. Apparently it cost the university £22 million to construct. It's a beautiful architectural delight, in my opinion. I'm sort of digressing a bit here, but this past couple of years I've lectured in a couple of really wonderful, beautiful lecture theatres, and it's a great experience. I mentioned online that it was going to happen at the time when it was starting. And at the time, I also mentioned to friends and family that I was going to be meeting a major academic hero of mine. In fact, I'm going to put a picture in here. Here's a picture of Irving Kirsch and I, a real hero of mine. I also mentioned to friends and family that I'd been invited to lecture at the Royal Society of Medicine. I'll put up a picture of me doing that also, lecturing at the prestigious David Waxman Memorial Lecture. After each of those events, I wrote about the experiences and reflected upon what I'd learned and how I'd developed as a result of the experience. That is, I spoke of them afterwards. Plus, as a hypnotherapy teacher who runs a college, it makes sense for me to mention these things as a means of wanting to establish my credibility as a teacher and as a lecturer. It kind of makes some commercial sense as well. So this is why I have this kind of seemingly peculiar title for this video today. I'm referring to being all mouth, which refers to someone talking themselves up a great deal, but perhaps not delivering on that talk. It's really the kind of expression, I guess, that belongs on a school playground, and I've kind of imported it from there. But it fits my topic, and it fits the point that I'm making here today. And let me explain that point then, and why I'm mentioning this today. Way back, early part of last year, I read a tweet following Donald Trump's self-statement that he was a very stable genius, according to himself. And someone tweeted that you do not and should not need to state what you are. How you are speaks volumes. Some people might suggest that anyone needing to assert that they are a stable genius, it might indicate that they are not so. I'm not suggesting that this is universally necessarily the truth with everybody who makes claims about who and how they are. Muhammad Ali often asserted that he was the best, and I tended to agree with him. I think many other erratic behaviours, however, demonstrate that a very stable genius is questionable in the eyes of some. Rich people, wealthy people do not need to state that they are rich. They just are so. Wise people do not tell everyone that they are wise. They just be wise. They just are. Famous people do not need to state they are famous. There are some exceptions, of course, but so on and so on. It can be seen, that people are who and how they are. But by how they're being. And that brings me on to something that I see happen in the hypnotherapy field. Hypnotherapists announcing on forums how many clients they're seeing, for example, and telling other hypnotherapists that they are seeing 40 to 50 clients a week. Firstly, I'm not always convinced that these people are actually doing so. The number of posts on the groups that they're in, that they make, where they're making these claims, might make some wonder if they genuinely have the time to see as many clients as they're seeing. But my point is more about why they'd want to say so. Who are they impressing? Who do they think is interested, and what are they trying to prove? Are they trying to tell themselves something? Similarly, trainers announcing online how much they pay for their facilities, or how much they earn, or how many delegates they have, or how they are so successful. I don't necessarily understand this. why spend so much energy just shouting about how great you are or what you are going to do? And why not just demonstrate it? Why not just be that way? Okay, announce it when it is actually happening. Be proud of what you are doing. But why make brazen claims and try to sell yourself so strongly? If something's not 100% going to happen, or it's not 100% the truth, especially, if you're just making it up, and if so, why? And surely this speaks more loudly than the kind of online marketing shouting, and you get measured by such things never materializing. Similarly, when I'm mentoring hypnotherapists, I take a look at their websites, and they often state that they are incredibly passionate about helping people, yet their website lacks any passion whatsoever. And the way they conduct themselves seems to lack passion. The way they communicate themselves lacks passion for the field and what they do. They tell you they are one thing, but do not demonstrate it. If you demonstrated it effectively, you wouldn't need to tell people how passionate you were. They would see that happening. Telling people that you have a great sense of humor, is one thing. I have a great sense of humor. I have a rapier-like wit. But showing it and being that way, that's another thing. Instead of professing to be a certain way, actually be that way. Don't keep proclaiming that you're going to change the world. Instead, go full-blown Gandhi and be the change that you wish to see in the world. Lead by example. One of the things I teach, or I speak to my students about often, when it comes to elements of their business, when it comes to the way that they conceptualize hypnosis as well, and when it comes to demonstrating who and how they are, it's a big ethos of mine, and it's a big ethos of my college. That covers many of these topics, and that is something I speak about often: undersell, over-deliver, not the other way round. People overselling themselves and their potential achievements tends to inflate the perceived disappointment when those things don't occur. Raising expectations and then not living up to those expectations destroys credibility. Undersell, be sober about it, then over-deliver. Pow! You make an impact, you develop credibility, you live up to your word, you are walking your talk, you are directly demonstrating who and how you are. So my message today, and as is often the case here on my channel, is a commercial one. Train with me, train with my college. We're not all mouth. We're not just shouting about things that we may do and making out they're happening. We're not selling fantasy. I've got the pictures, I've got the evidence. We're doing what we say we're doing. We're making waves in this field. We're scaling the heights and raising the bar as far as hypnotherapy training and research is concerned. And so, on a rare occasion, I'll have a sense of earned smugness, especially around this kind of New Year period. Earned smugness about myself, but the rest of the time, make it an aim to set about my next projects with humility, with professionalism, with sobriety, and I hope you see the evidence of that. That's all. Have a great day. I'll be back soon.